I'd like to show you how to create a slideshow that moves very quickly. And I'm opening here on my screen the movie that we made from our Greek Isle trip. And don't worry about what it's in here now, but what it's doing is it's very quickly. Here, let me start it again. It's running through some single shots that I have. In order to do this, I have used Imovie in order to do this. So what I would like to do is show you how to use Imovie. Let me close this. And in order to do that, I'm going to use these pictures here that I have, and I'm going to put them here, down here in this area here. Before you begin anything else, you need to go to Movie, say New Project. When you get New Project, I always choose No Theme. I don't use widescreen. I try to use standard. This is fine. If you want to name the project, you can too. I usually leave this off. Then I say Create. So it's ready now for this area here to have a new project. You don't want to choose New Event. You want to choose New Project. I'm going to come up here to these, and I'm going to select them all by doing Command A, or I could go up to my File menu or Edit menu and say Select All also. And what I'd like to do is hold down with my mouse and drag these to this area here. Now you see, you've got a little plus sign, and there's 18 pictures you can see here. I'm going to let go. It also puts a little green mark here. And what it's going to do, and I'm going to, let me activate this. It's not loading yet, but now it is. Now it's loading. See, it's 18 stills. So it's going to load 18 still pictures to this project. And it'll take a minute or so to do it. But what you're going to do after these are loaded, they will all show up here in this area here. So it's going to take about 2 minutes in order to do this. I'm going to see if I can pause this, and I will, and I'll come back after it's loaded. Okay, all right. So here we are back, and you see I have all these pictures loaded. You see them are all on here. And it doesn't make any difference now if they're right side up or upside down. They're all on here. We can change that with them here. And what I'd like to do now is I would like to take the properties of these things here and change them. So I can go up to Clip. Now I go to File and do Project Properties. And I'm going to say, check here, it's standard. We've already set that. And I'm going to come down here to photo duration. And I'm going to drag this over here to 1 second. And I'm going to say this applies to all photos, not just when they're added. I would like to do Ken Burns. I like Ken Burns because it moves your pictures in and out. And I don't want to crop anything. So I'm going to say OK. Now, in order to see if this really works, I'm going to take my mouse. I'm going to move over here to the front. I'm going to hit just the spacebar key, and you see that's what does it. If I'd have left it on longer than 1 second, it would have obviously been more than 1 second. So what I'm going to do now, so that'll go all the way through. Now I'm going to hit my spacebar again to stop it, and I can move this back and forth however I want it. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say Share, and I'm going to say Export Movie, and it's going to ask me some questions about how do I want to save these things. It's called, you see at the top here, it's called New Project. I'm just going to call it Test, and you want to keep the extension .m4v, and you see here that's for mobile. You can actually make it larger, but for what we're doing right now, that's fine. I'm going to save it to my desktop, and I'm going to tell it to export it. And it's going to show up down here on my desktop. But let me close this. And it's preparing to export. Now, this always takes a little bit of time, but it doesn't take that long. And what's going to happen when this saves itself, you can save it to wherever you want it. You can save it to your desktop. You can save it to a folder where you have pictures or wherever you want. I like to save it to my desktop because I know that where it is now, I can always move it or delete it after I've uploaded it or do whatever I want to it. And then I can do what I want. After this I'm going to show you how to add titles to this, or even music if you want, to this whole thing here. So let me let this finish, and here it is. It's almost finished now. There, it's finished. I should add it to my desktop here somewhere. There it is there. See it? It says it's test movie. I'm going to double click on it. It's going to open it into a player, and there it is. You see how fast it's playing? Now, it's a separate movie. It's a separate movie made to play on several different players, and it will play on the internet. It'll play on an email or whatever, okay? So that's what that is. So I'm going to stop right now. I want you to try that, and if that works all right for you, then come back and look at the second thing, and I'll show you how to add music and titles to your iMovie. All right, Desktop Dad here.